Hello everyone and welcome to a new series here on my channel, Best Weapons. As I'm sure you can see by the title of today's video, you can probably guess what this one's going to be about. But I thought I'd quickly explain how this little series is going to work, and then we'll get straight on into the video. What I want to do with this series is show off what I think is the best assault rifle, and then ask for your guys' opinion as well. So on Twitter at the weekend and during the middle of this week, I've been asking you guys to complete a straw poll for me, which results you will see at the end of this video, to show off what you think is the best assault rifle in Battlefield 4. I'm going to do this for each weapon class, so at the end of each video there will be a straw poll link for you guys to vote on what you think the next weapon that is best in that category for the next episode, and then that way I can split the video in half, do half about my favourite weapon and half about the weapon that you vote for the best. I just think it was a cool series and it's quite good to do for Battlefield 4 now. We're drawing towards the end of its life cycle, so I think it's good to reflect on these weapons that we've played with now for around 10-11 months. But without further ado, let's get on with the first episode. Now, unless you're blind, and no offence to anyone if you are, but if you haven't seen what's on the screen yet, look now. It's the Ace 23 assault rifle, and for me, this is without a doubt the best assault rifle in Battlefield 4. A lot of people are complaining about the Ace 23 and have been since the start of the game, and a lot of people were comparing it to the M16A3 kind of syndrome that we had in Battlefield 3, where everyone agreed it was completely overpowered and the easiest weapon to use by far. I would have to say the Ace 23 fits that role quite well, but it's not quite as easy to use as the M16 was in Battlefield 3. There are a few quirks that it has, but pretty much if you throw it into any situation, you're going to stand a very good chance of still being alive by the time you've finished there. A little bit of background about the Ace 23 outside of Battlefield 4, just for your information. I think this is quite interesting. It was built by IWI, or the Israeli Weapon Industries, and is based on the older Galil assault rifle. In real life, this thing is called the Galil Ace assault rifle, and in Battlefield 4 we have the Ace 23 variant of that rifle. In real life, it only fires at 700 rounds a minute, and is actually equipped with a 35-round Galil magazine. Now, in the game, it fires at 770 rounds per minute and is only equipped with the standard 31-round magazine. So there is a little bit of difference between real life and in the game, but ultimately, this still is just an amazing assault rifle. As I said, this thing is perfect to pretty much any range you want to use it at. I personally equip it with a Cobra sight or a Coyote red dot sight. I'm starting to move away from that sight. It used to be my favourite one, but I'm starting to move back to the Cobra sight again. I don't know, I've been playing a lot of CTE recently, and I just find that with the new visual recoil fixes, where the red dot in the middle of the sight doesn't actually move, or it moves around the centre of the screen now, rather than the weapon sort of misrepresenting where your recoil's actually going, I just find that the Cobra sight is much easier to use in that situation, and I've adapted to using it, so I've switched back to the Cobra sight. I always equip a heavy barrel on assault rifles. I don't know why, unless I've stuck a suppressor on there, but I think it's just a follow-on from Battlefield 3, where heavy barrel foregrip was just the best setup to use, and I always use a stubby grip on the Ace because it gives really good accuracy boost. The 770 rounds a minute means you can just pretty much rip through anybody that's standing in front of you. I tend to think that the sweet spot for RPM is around 800. Anything higher than that and you can start to miss the first few shots that you're firing, and anything lower than that you're going to start to lose the gunfight before you've even fired the first shot. So the Ace 23 sits perfectly right in the middle at 770. It's also got a really nice short reload time of 2.1 seconds, but a longer reload time of 3.1. So if you can avoid running out of bullets in your magazine, then you can always get that 2.1 second reload in and you get back into the fight. That thing saves you more often than not, because that's pretty much the only thing that lets the Ace down. That long reload time is a killer. And yeah, like I said, this assault rifle pretty much suits any game mode that you want to play, any situation you might happen to find yourself in. You're always going to stand a good chance with the Ace 23, and that's why it's my favourite assault rifle. I can pretty much rely on it in any situation. But as I said, I did ask you guys what you thought the best assault rifle in Battlefield 4 was. So on the screen right now, we have the top 5 that were voted for. At number 5, we do actually have the Ace 23. At number 4 is the AEK, which again is a very good assault rifle, but I find that in Battlefield 4 its recoil is just a little bit too much and the rate of fire is just a little bit too high for me. The Scar H comes in at number 3, a very heavy hitter with a slow rate of fire. If you get a double tap on the head, anyone's dropping at any range. At number 2 we have the L85A2, which I thought was a surprise inclusion at number 2 there. But nevertheless, a good assault rifle at 750 rounds a minute. Another weapon that you can really rely on at any range. It's got a very good variation of sort of statistics that means it can work at any range really. But at number 1 we have the M416, and this wasn't a surprise for me. The M416 has always been a popular rifle in the Battlefield series, from Battlefield 3 to Battlefield 4. Even back in Bad Company 2 this thing was used fairly regularly. So let's have a look at this thing. So first of all, rate of fire, 750 rounds a minute, sits in the same bracket as the Ace 23 alongside the L85A2 for being in that near sweet spot for RPM, making sure that you always hit those first few shots and you're not spraying off into the distance. One thing that I really think helps out the M416 is its short reload time of 1.85 seconds. I think the only thing that beats that is the M16A4 in Battlefield 3. Of course, the M416 is built off the AR-15 design, so the 16A4 and the M416 are very similar in how they perform anyway. But I think that the M416 tops out just that little bit because it's got a little bit more manageable rate of fire. It's got a really good recoil pattern as well of 0.32 up and 0.1 to the left and 0.3 to the right. So it's always going to pull to the right, as AR-15 rifles always do. But if you can learn to manage that, again at close to medium range, this thing will absolutely dominate. I think this choice from the community has probably got a lot to do with the fact that this thing has been in the Battlefield series for a long time, but it's always been a really good choice of assault rifle if you do choose to go for it. But anyway, that's enough of the assault rifles. As I said, there is a straw poll link on the screen right now. It's also in the description, so you can just click on it and go straight to the poll. I want you to choose what you think is the best or your favourite carbine in Battlefield 4. All of them are listed there. You can pick any of them that you like. And then I'll put a video together next week. I'll show off my favourite carbine, and then again at the end I'll show off what you think is the best carbine in Battlefield 4. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you do hit that like button and leave all your comments down below, but make sure you do vote on that poll. But until next time, my name is Westy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.